Well, it looks like someone at The Advocate reads SheWired.
All right, this could be it.
Camera's not working.
Poop!
That's what I said. When Fred won't answer the phone, he knows how to get through this, but it is what it is.
Oh, jeez. All right, well, we'll just do it with you on speakerphone, and we can see Dee.
Hi.
Hello.
Here, wait, I'll show you Dee. Dee, this is Leslie.
Oh, wait a minute. Leslie's the screen.
Hi, Dee. Just screen. That is it.
I just see screen.
These are my Android friends. This is crazy. This is like a crazy techno nightmare. Can you hear each other? Leslie, give me a little test.
I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Whoa.
She's loud, huh? Okay. And Dee, how about you? You can hear everything?
Yeah, I can hear her. She's really, really loud.
Okay, I'll turn it down. Hold on.
Yeah, I can hear you.
This is Dee right here. Can you see her, honey? Can you see the screen?
Hi.
Dee does a vlog on After Ellen. Tell us the name of your vlog, Dee.
It's called Come With Me If You Want to Live.
That sounds very amazing.
I'm currently residing in Tuskegee, Alabama, because that's where I go to vet school, Tuskegee University. I met Cathy because we both do vlogs on After Ellen. I met her at Dinah.
Woo-hoo!
Yay, at the white party.
Yeah, that's right.
It was fun.
It was fun. And so you're in vet school right now. And how old are you, Dee?
Yeah.
Do you mind telling us how old you are?
Ooh, I'm somewhere in those 20s.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm on the other half. I'm getting closer to 30, but not there yet.
Okay.
I am originally from Connecticut. Actually, I went to the same high school as Bridget McManus. She was a senior when I was a freshman.
Oh, really?
That was kind of weird.
Did she talk to you? Was she cool enough to talk to you? Or was she too
I don't
cool?
really remember her.
Oh.
Because she was not cheerleading and in drama, and I didn't really talk to the cheerleaders or the drama kids, but they were kind of different. I was more like playing basketball and swimming.
Okay, so you guys didn't know each other.
Not really.
We're also here with Leslie, who I met in Chicago. But Leslie's video is not working, so we're going to be able to hear her, though. Leslie, say hi.
Hello. I live in Chicago, Illinois, and we met on the football field through Kristen Baker. You were filming a documentary, and you came with our team to our sponsor bar, and we started chatting there.
Okay, I hope we're having some sound issues, but I hope that wasn't too bad. Leslie, do you mind telling us how old you are and where you live?
I'm 39, and I live on the north side of Chicago. I've been here about 14 years. I grew up in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
I wrote a blog post last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago now, questioning, is gay the new black? And it was inspired by, for me, a conversation that I had been having with my friend who's 20 years old. And I had said something, it was pertaining to the civil rights movement that's happening now, given the passing of Prop 8 and the protests that began happening here in LA and the community coming together. So it was interesting to me to see the responses that happened on SheWired, and I was really excited about it because it started a great dialogue among people. And one of the most interesting things to me, as someone who's psychology oriented, was the projection that was put on what did Cathy intend, what was Cathy's tone, what was Cathy trying to accomplish. And Dee, you wrote in and had some interesting things to say. And Leslie and I talked about it while we were in Chicago. So I thought the three of us could have a great discussion bringing different perspectives to the table. So Dee, why don't you start, since you've read the article and you had left comments on the site. How did it strike you when you first read it?
The feeling I had at the beginning of the article wasn't necessarily my feeling at the end. At the beginning of the article, in all honesty, my first reaction was, oh my God, why? Like, why did you, because the first parts where it was going, hold on, I gotta look at it now. Is gay the new black? Do we not get beaten for being gay? And just went on the list. It got towards the end, it made me feel more like, okay, like, has any black person ever been thrown out of their church for being black? It felt more like a comparison instead of like, it felt like a negative comparison more than a positive, look, we go through stuff too. It was kind of like, hey, look, our struggles is big as yours, or we have problems and so do you. It was, I don't know. It didn't feel like trying to unite the community in terms of, like, we both have problems. It was kind of like, look, we have bigger problems than you guys do. Like, your struggle's over. Look, we have our new problems. Like, we're like the gays of the new oppressed group. And I knew that wasn't your intention, especially towards, like, the end. At least, like, that's my perception, that you weren't intending to do that, because I don't think you would do that. And at the end, you were saying, you know, we come together as a community as a whole and unite and fight against all discrimination. But instead of doing that, it just felt like, look, gay people have problems too. Black people, like, your time is over.
I'm going to disagree with, in the fact that when I read your article, I took it as, I didn't look at it as you're comparing it. I looked at it as we're going through this now, and that one line in your article, which you said, you know, gays have their path, blacks have theirs as well. I think that set it off for the fact you weren't comparing apples to apples. I think you're trying to make a point by saying, hey, you know, this is what we're going through now. This is what we're experiencing. I think the only difference is that most of the time, people aren't going to know whether you're gay or not unless you say something. But when we walk into a room, they know we're a person of color. Right. So discrimination can be more, it's more obvious when it comes to being somebody of color, whether it's black or Hispanic or what be it. Whereas unless you're blatantly out there as somebody who's gay, and it's, how do I put it politically correct, and people can quote unquote tell, nobody knows. I think that's the difference. But I didn't take offense to that article in that way.
So regardless of the fact that my intention wasn't to trivialize Black history, it's interesting to me that it comes up that way for people as sort of like a competition. Because it almost sounds like in your comments, Dee, and Dee's name on SheWired is Rain, and I exposed that because you exposed it yourself. You wrote it in your...
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, yeah. You wrote it in your comment that it was you. It almost seems like what you're saying is, Cathy, I totally get what you're saying, and it's clear what you're saying, but you need to handle us with kid gloves. And I wonder why you want that.
Not necessarily. Not kid gloves, just with a little more of an understanding of be very careful how you word things, because it's just kind of like you said, like, people take things differently, and I can see how your article can be taken really badly. And actually, I saw your reactions. Like, your article's been reposted on a few websites, and just going around to different websites, seeing different people's reactions to it, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what I was afraid it was going to happen. Like, I could tell with, like you said, I felt like you were trying to be more positive, but it just didn't come off that way. Like, just by certain words or different phrases, or even putting it as a question, it caused a comparison, and I felt like there's just really no need to compare. Because not just you, but a lot of people in the gay community have felt the need to draw the similarities between the gay civil rights movement, or the gay, like, movement in general, and then the civil rights movement of African Americans from slavery till now. And I just feel like you don't, in order to prove your point, you don't have to compare it to something else.
But how is the comparison? This is what I don't understand, and I want to understand.
Okay.
How is the comparison offensive?
I think it's a matter of perception and how somebody's reading it and where they stop reading it. You know, the minute you see, you're seeing signs, is gay the new black, or the article you wrote, some people like to just cringe and say, okay, no, you haven't gone through what our ancestors went through or what we still experience. No, you weren't hosed down by, water hoses or chased by dogs or what be it. If they stop at that title or of your article and that's it, then the perception's already set. And if they didn't keep an open mind while reading through it, I don't think they would have understood it, that their anger was too clouding their judgment.